Hi, everyone. How are y'all doing? Welcome to our almost weekend wind down that generally starts at 5:30, even though on Instagram I said 5. I was trying to shoot for earlier and I knew that wasn't going to happen. So usually 5:30. Hey, Tiana girl. Tiana is always on me about being on time. I'm going to get there. It's going to find me one day. So we are drinking Maison Noir, New Noir. This is my favorite one of theirs, black owned. It's very tasty. How's y'all's Thursday going? As you can see, I already opened it. So yes, we are going to get into Drake, 21 Savage, and Anna Wintour. And whenever I hear Anna Wintour, her name specifically, I think of Azalea Banks and that song. So hey, Jada. Hey, Scrooge McDuck. Welcome to the live. Let us hop right into it. So here is our agenda. We're going to go through the claims of the lawsuit, the counterfeit magazine. Yes, they printed an entire counterfeit magazine. It's the dedication to the foolery for me. Interesting. And then just his overall general raggedy behavior, because we have to touch on that for a quick second. All right. And before we do that, because I always forget, we are going to do our Patreon live actually tomorrow about the affirmative action, the two cases that have been combined in the Supreme Court. So we're going to do that over on Patreon if you want to head over and join the Patreon. We were going to do it after this. However, there's 5 hours of oral arguments for that case, and I didn't get through all of them. So we're definitely going to do that tomorrow, most likely early afternoon. And an update on Patreon billing. They have finally updated their billing, so you get regular subscription. So instead of you signing up and then getting charged on the first of the month, now you just get charged on whatever day you signed up. So if you sign up today on the 10th, you will always get charged on the 10th. If you are an existing patron, you're still on the first of the month billing. So, which is happy. I'm glad about that because the billing used to be very odd before. So go ahead, join the Patreon. We have a good time over there. We have a Discord. We have all things. All right. So let's get into our topic today, which is Drake and these claims. So Aubrey Graham is specifically being sued, which these are the claims in his lawsuit. It's Aubrey and 21 Savage. So to read off everyone's government name, Aubrey Drake Graham, performing as Drake, Shea bin Abraham, Joseph, performing as 21 Savage, and Hiltskits Strategies LLC, aka the PR team that decided that this was a good idea. That is who is getting sued. Interesting. Hey, Bellamy girl. So yes, let's get into this. Our first claim is going to be trademark infringement, regular degular. This is my trademark, aka Vogue. Vogue is owned by Condé Nast, and Condé Nast actually has a larger umbrella company. So that is who's suing. Vogue is technically not a party to the lawsuit because Vogue is owned by Condé Nast. It's Condé Nast, the parent company, that is upset. Then we have the second claim for false designation of origin / unfair competition. So we've done trademark infringement a bunch of times, so we won't get into, I guess we get into it for a second for everyone that's new. Trademark infringement being if you own a brand, you essentially can file with the USPTO, United States Patent Trademark Office, that yes, I, Stephanie, own the Wine and Chill brand. It is mine. I want to use it for entertainment. I want to use it one day. Maybe, I can partner with a Black-owned winery and we can get some wine. I would like to do all those things. It's mine. It's mine. It's mine. Trademark, however, your ownership of a trademark is only as good as your ability to litigate and fight for it and tell everybody else, listen here, Raggedy, it's mine. Don't touch it. Don't be out there pretending that you're Vogue. Vogue is over 100 years old, I believe, maybe 150 years. 150 years in the business. They do not play about their trademark. They're very much, don't do that. Why would you ever do that? For better or worse. So false designation of origin, unfair competition is saying, yes, similar to trademark, yes, this is mine. Let's pretend that, I'm associated with Vogue. Let's pretend that we did all these things. For context, since we're going through the claims first, we're going to go a little bit backwards since there are a few different types of claims. Aubrey and his team and 21 Savage, who is attached to it since they have a joint album, decided that they would make and distribute fake Vogue covers, Vogue magazines, and put their album propaganda information in it, which that's an interesting way to go about things. The third claim is going to be for dilution of your brand. So every brand has a monetary amount attached to it. So for example, people, which I think is like kind of interesting, every once in a while will sell their YouTube channel. They'll say, hey, I built up this brand. I'm tired. I'm retiring. Do you want to buy my YouTube channel? My YouTube channel, it works better with an animated channel where you haven't seen the person's face. Once you see somebody's face, it would be very weird if all of a sudden somebody else popped up and was like, hey, welcome to Wine and Chill. I mean, maybe if they're good at it, maybe y'all wouldn't mind. It would be a little odd. But for an animated channel, people do sometimes sell the YouTube channel. Like, hey, you can buy my YouTube channel for X amount of money. My brand usually makes this amount AdSense a year. I make this much in sponsorships. This is how much it's worth. So you can attach a value to your trademark. Vogue, since it's been around for so long, Vogue, for better or worse, is the standard in fashion and beauty. Vogue has a very high amount attached to what their trademark is. Anything that is actually counterfeit, fake, found, bootleg is diluting Vogue's brand. It's saying like, hey, you're pretending to be those people in Times Square that aren't actually associated with the mouse, and you are diluting our brand. I don't like that. So that's what dilution is. And there are a lot of claims. They threw the whole book at them. And specifically, we'll get into it midway through. They threw the book at them because they first sent Aubrey and his team a cease and desist. And I'm saying Aubrey because I feel like his team is much more audacious than 21 Savage and his team. The fourth claim is false advertising. False advertising is self-explanatory. It's fake. It's not really a Vogue magazine. It is an Aubrey Graham, Jimmy from Degrassi magazine that he was giving out. The fifth claim, violation of the New York business law. So then they specifically filed in New York Federal District Court. So they also roped in the state claims as well. So the sixth claim is common law trademark infringement, unfair competition. Same thing as trademark infringement. There's the federal and the state claim because they want to collect all their monies. And the seventh claim, violation of New York general business law as well. All right. So we've gotten through the claims. I have too many tabs up. Okay, there we go. So for the second claim, false designation of origin / unfair competition. This is from the complaint. Now, all complaints are allegations. Everything is alleged. However, the interesting thing is when you have physical evidence, it's like, yeah, this is an allegation, but we all saw you. We all saw you do this thing. We all saw you post on your Instagram, your Twitter. I don't know if the man has Snapchat, etc., with this fake magazine. So let me make this bigger because y'all know I cannot see. By reason of defendant's willful use of the counterfeit Vogue mark in connection with the promotion and distribution of the album and the counterfeit magazine, Condé Nast is entitled to recovery of defendant's profits and plaintiff's damages, increased to the subject of principles of equity together with the cost of this action. I thought this was really interesting in terms of they are suing for roughly $4 million. This essentially with the false designation of origin is, hey, we know you're promoting an album. That's cute. It's cute you're in the music business and all. All that money that you made or you might make from this, we would like some of that since you have assigned it to Vogue and that we are promoting this album as well. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And it's not large amounts of money they're asking for. $4 million is a lot of money to regular people for a, I would say, international superstar. What's $4 million? But it is pretty interesting to see in terms of what was really the reason. What was the reason for Aubrey to go about this whole entire thing? And the reason is similar, and I put a little clip in at the end when we covered Nike and Lil Nas X and the brand that he worked with, because Lil Nas X didn't actually get sued for the bloody shoes. This is the same thing. It's a PR stunt. So, I mean, it's working. We're talking about him annoyingly. All right. So the third claim with dilution, let me make so y'all can see. Defendant's use of the Vogue mark is likely to cause dilution by blurring and or tarnishment. I said, you're raggedy. It is tarnishing our brand to be associated with you. We would never have you on our cover. By creating a false association between defendants and Vogue magazines, impairing the distinctiveness of the Vogue mark and impairing the reputation and goodwill associated with the Vogue mark. Defendants' use of the Vogue mark was willfully intended to trade on the recognition of the famous Vogue mark and willfully intended to harm the reputation of the Vogue mark, which is interesting. Very, very interesting. And yeah, it's not like Drake said, let me use People magazine. That's not getting people going. It's Vogue. Everyone knows to get on the cover of Vogue, you have to be a noteworthy person. Vogue has all these stipulations. The actual October cover of Vogue goes to Michaela Coel, which shout out to her. She's amazing. Drake, please. Come on. And just to put this in here for a second, this has nothing to do with this video. If you missed our Sovereign Citizen video, which dropped on Tuesday, highly recommend. It is about the Darrell Brooks trial and the complicated rise of sovereign citizens. While that trial was very stressful, and while the initial subject matter of just Darrell Brooks is very stressful, I would say the video is very much a somewhat light and historical look into sovereign citizens. So highly recommend that you watch it. And also plugging it here because the algorithm is not being my friend with that. So y'all go ahead, watch that video. Let me know what you think. And it's me in the Hotep head wrap. Okay. All right. On to the counterfeit magazine. Now, Michaela Coel, again, I just wanted to mention her since that is actually who was on the cover for October, not a one Aubrey Graham. It was Michaela Coel, the playwright, Michaela Coel, the producer, Michaela Coel, the director, the actress, the amazing human being overall. All right. And him attempting to take the spotlight from a Black woman is not surprising. Anywho, so this is what Aubrey and his team decided to do, and 21 Savage as well. It'll rope him into it as well, since he is a named defendant to this suit. Let me make me small so y'all can see. So, following defendants' receipt of Condé Nast's demand, the Drake-related Twitter account posted the multitude of locations at which the counterfeit magazine would be distributed in New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Miami, Houston, and Toronto. Now, when people sue people, 9 times out of 10, most likely they send them a cease and desist, like, hey, your behavior is raggedy. I don't like it. Can you just stop? I don't feel like going to court with you, Aubrey. I'm tired of it. Like, what are you doing? He received multiple cease and desists from Condé Nast and their legal team, to which him and his team said, to hell with this. I don't care. I'm going to continue. And not only am I going to make this fake Vogue magazine and put it on my social media, I'm going to go out to the street and I'm going to distribute it. I'm just going to give it to people from all of the, I would say, internet musings that I read through. He didn't sell it. From what I can see, it seems that he gave it away for free. However, which I'm mad that I forgot the clip now that we're talking about this, people are now reselling their fake Drake Vogue magazine covers for money, specifically $180 to $200. Why anybody would buy that is beyond me. Is beyond me. So now there is resale, which means, there is continued harm, which is what Vogue is mad about. That now they can't go back, and this is not just like, oh, it's on social media, let's get it expunged, erased from the internet. The internet is forever. You can't really fully erase anything from the internet, but it's outside. It's all the way outside. So if you live in New York, it was by Columbia University, West 25th. He said, let's go to Harlem. We're going to give it out to the people of Harlem. Canal Street in Lafayette, border of Soho and Chinatown. West 34th, he went to Penn Station. It's him, and it's not him specifically. It's his PR team, which is why they're named. It's the PR team just being in Penn Station, just being like, hey, you want a Drake Vogue cover? Wild. 4th Ave and Pacific Street in Brooklyn. Oh, 4th Ave and Pacific. Where's 4th? Oh, that's by Barclays. So they're by Barclays. They went down to Flatbush. East Fordham Road in the Bronx. That's by, I think East Fordham. I think that part of East Fordham is by Fordham University. Dykeman, they went down to Washington, up to Washington Heights, up for me. Y'all know I'm living a Brooklyn life. So they went everywhere, child. They went everywhere to give it to everybody and cause more commotion. After Condé Nast told them, listen, you don't have to pay us anything. Like, just go away. Just stop this. I get it. You think it's funny. It's not funny to us enough. And they're like, absolutely not. Let's take it further. It's the money spent on printing, and then also just the audacity to do all of this. And again, I picked this topic because compared to a lot of the topics we've been covering lately, this is a very light topic. Do I personally feel bad for Vogue? No, it's Vogue. Vogue should have treated Andre Leon Talley better. So, however, it's still just trifling behavior. It's just trifling behavior for no reason. So, speaking of which, Inside the magazine, if you got a free one on the street, some pages have no modifications, constituting an exact replica of Condé Nast copyright content. Everything in the Vogue magazine, Condé Nast files a copyright of each issue every month, which copyright is inherent. Unlike trademark, copyright is inherent. The minute you make a creative work, it is automatically there, but corporations usually file a copyright for all of their creative works because it's essentially a giant group project. So other pages are modified to superimpose promotional logos for defendant's album. Others include images of Anna Wintour that were not the real issue, and in one case were doctored to impose an image of Drake with Anna Wintour, which this part did make me laugh. And I know and I hope Andre Leon Talley is somewhere giggling from above, because Anna Wintour would never publish a photo of herself and Drake. It would never happen. She's super pretentious, and also Anna is never smiling. The fact that she's smiling in this picture is kind of hysterical to me. All right. Let me take a sip and read through the comments really quick. And that is my thought. Orange Moon, I wouldn't be surprised if this is all a PR stunt, even the lawsuit. The entire thing, in my opinion, is a PR stunt pulled from the Lil Nas X and Mischief. That was the name of the company with the artist/shoe company, and Mischief. It's the same thing, but this is taking it up a few notches, I would say. Okay. Let us continue. So, the resulting public deception and confusion. With trademark, one of the things to prove trademark infringement is you have to show people are confused. People are confused. People think this is really Vogue. And because no one expects someone to print on high gloss paper a full fake magazine, most people were like, yeah, this is real. So much so that Yahoo News, and whoever made this article probably got fired, or hopefully, poor intern, somebody got yelled at. Yahoo News posted a revolt article titled "Drake and 21 Savage Land on the Cover of Vogue," erroneously reporting, "This Friday, November 4th, Drake and 21 Savage will unveil their joint album, Her Loss to the Masses." Poor Yahoo. They've been spiraling for many years. And it even made its way to Wikipedia. Now, Wikipedia, I know, gets a lot of flack as people are like, Wikipedia is an awful resource. Anybody can update Wikipedia. However, Wikipedia is very good for initial, just learning about topics and then moving on from there. It is a good starting place. I would not cite Wikipedia as the end all be all, but generally speaking, because people can go in and fact check things, it's good to start. Even Wikipedia was conned and listed Aubrey as the Drake, 21 Savage, the cover models for December, which I don't know how they got December when we're in November, but never mind. That's neither here nor there. Okay, let's move on. And to add to the public confusion, I find it very funny when lawyers, particularly litigation lawyers, have to go online and pull tweets, pull comments. So some of the comments said, "Looking forward to picking this one up at Vogue magazine." I know the Vogue social media manager was like, what the hell is this? How am I supposed to respond to this? I don't get paid enough for this. Someone then stated, "Finally, OMG, like be effing for real, a fashion icon." And to that person, stop playing around. Fashion icon where? Stop it. That's nonsense. And continuing on, "Something is telling me this will be a classic." These are people that don't read Vogue. "Just wait until they talk about the album in the magazine tomorrow and they reflect on features. You think it's going to sell out before I can get on it tomorrow afternoon?" Fascinating. And then someone said, "It's real. Also, magazines can have multiple covers." Magazines can have multiple covers, and they tell you when they have multiple covers. Also, if you look at all of the pictures, the way the editorial layout is set up on some of the pages that they created themselves, the PR company did, is very helter-skelter. So I would say it's not exactly correct. Okay. Asada, "I know Vogue is tired of these rappers. I know they're tired. Also, Vogue is a classist and egregious magazine. So again, I don't particularly feel all the way bad for them. However, I know they're tired of them, and it's so annoying. It just must be so annoying. And it's more so annoying for the people who very much work there. That's the people it's causing the nuisance for, the people who have to go and fix all of this and do all of that. So, as of the date of this filing, which the lawsuit was filed, I believe, on Tuesday or Monday, it might have been Monday, and today's Thursday, all of the infringing posts remain available online. Aubrey has since deleted his, and 21, I'm not sure, they didn't use 21's posts in the complaint, including on the social media accounts maintained by or associated with Drake and 21 Savage. Posters of the counterfeit cover continue to be plastered throughout New York, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Miami, Houston, and Toronto. I know the Vogue employees are like, listen, I'm not going outside to take it down. Like, y'all not paying me enough for that. Print, notoriously, which Vogue is one of the OGs, print magazine, print notoriously, the pay is not good. People that work at Condé Nast, they're doing it because they love fashion. They live for the fashion, they live for fashion month and all that. The pay is not, it's not giving a lot. It's not giving a lot. Not only have defendants refused to remove and cease dissemination of the infringing materials, but they have doubled down with nude displays of the counterfeit covers days after the initial demand. Right after the initial demand, Aubrey went and posted stories of him positioning the magazine in one of his homes. Again, I just don't know why. And the reason, honestly and truly, is because it's risk mitigation. It's risk mitigation versus publicity. Rightfully or wrongfully, Vogue and Condé Nast are suing for $4 million. Aubrey and his PR team, I would assume, talked to the accountant and was like, okay, how much does a regular press tour cost? Regular press tour usually costs me $3 million. Okay, the extra $1 million, and people will talk about it for an extra week, and then we have to pay this, and we have to cause consternation for all these people. Let's do it, because I love chaos and commotion. It's one of those things where clearly someone thinks it's funny, but it's not very funny. It's just very tacky. If you can't get on Vogue, you can't get on Vogue. Which brings me to, I'll just play the beginning of this when we covered Lil Nas X and the bloody shoes. Is it going to play? It's not going to play. Okay, it said no. Why won't it play? Hold on. Why doesn't it want to play? Hold on. Let me see what's wrong with it. Oh, hold on. We were doing so good with no issues. Format. I don't know what it's doing. I love how it's like, you will not be playing your video at any time right now. I don't want to click out of it because then it's going to be a pain in the butt. Okay, let's click out of it because it was funny. Hold on. Please hold. Okay, we're not going to go. Go to youtube.com. No? Okay. Hold on while I argue with the computer. Okay. We're going to have to change the screen. Look at all this commotion. Stop screen sharing. Share screen. Chrome tab. Okay, let's just go to the beginning. We're just going to play 2 seconds of the beginning in case this video is so old. And also shout out to my post 30-year-old tan from when I went home to Miami. And the remaining lashes that are on my face for the one time I did lashes. The genuine Nike Air Max 97 shoe does not contain any of these customized features. Customized features. Ciao. Drop of blood is now a customized feature. All right. Hopefully y'all could hear that. Who knows? The bloody shoes was the most interesting one in that the arguments being made, because you have to show, hey, this is counterfeit. This is not adhering to our standards. So for Vogue, in their complaint, it was very much, hey, our standards are everything has to be within these lines. We like everything to be high quality, etc. This looks cheap. This looks tacky. This clearly is not something we would ever do. In the Nike case against Mischief, they never actually sued Lil Nas X, which was interesting. In the Nike case against Mischief, they very much were like, hey, clearly we don't put blood in our shoes. So this customization has nothing to do with us. All right, so back to the regularly scheduled program. Stop screen. Present, share screen. Is that this one? Okay, let's move on from this. Okay, so Condé Nast and Vogue weren't the other only major publications that 21 Savage, Drake, and their team decided to troll. They also pretended that they went on NPR's Tiny Desk, made a whole fake Tiny Desk, which was strange, to which NPR had to respond and say, no, Drake has not done a Tiny Desk, though we're open to the possibility. Again, it's just very strange behavior to essentially get the, I would say, praise from being on certain publications, certain interviews. They also trolled Howard Stern. Howard Stern thought it was funny. Howard Stern is an interesting human being. And Vogue and Tiny Desk, places that are very much like, hey, this holds a lot of weight in the music industry. This holds a lot of weight if you get onto Tiny Desk, if you get onto the cover of Vogue, to then he could have got on Tiny Desk if he wanted to. What was the purpose, again, of causing consternation? Besides the shock value, which makes me wonder the people that were like, oh, this is so cool. It's probably like an age thing. It's probably like kids are like, look at all the things you can do. There's no need to actually be invited to anything. I just pretend. Strange. And because we cannot have this live talking about Drake and his album without talking about his raggedy ass behavior. And I saved it to the end because people defending his raggedy ass behavior are very loud. And I thought this was a very good article. I'm going to put the article link here as well if you all want to read it. For Drake, the misogyny is in the message. The rapper's brand is now pointless, profitable cruelty by Spencer Kornhaber. Hopefully I said that right. I thought it was a good article in terms of succinctly wrapping up that what is the brand? What is Drake's brand anymore? What is Jimmy from Degrassi doing besides writing very misogynistic, rude, mean-spirited things just to claim that they're provocative, that he's provocative? He's tired of being, a cultural appropriator. He wants to be Jamaican sometimes. He's not Jamaican. Wants to be from the South sometimes. He's not from the South. Wants to be Dominican sometimes. He's not Dominican either. I guess he's now moved on to full-blown misogyny, which it was always there. It was always there under the surface. So a little excerpt from this article. I blow half $500,000 on you hoes. I'm a feminist. Drake raps in a lyric that, like so much of his recent output, is perched between humor and brand management, shock and forgettability, engagement and apathy. And I think that's very, very, shout out to your friend. I think that is such a great, succinct way to put how the lyrics are forgettable. The last album, I don't know what the name is. I don't know. But then again, maybe my memory's not that great. Who knows? It's just the shock value to get virality that also comes with real life harm, because there are real life fools that really are like, yeah, I could say this to women. I could do whatever. And particularly with this, throughout in his typical manner, he fixates on the power women hold over him sexually and the power he can hold over them financially. And this is with the growing rise, and Julesy has a great video on this, the growing rise you see online of people glamorizing stay-at-home girlfriend, glamorizing stay-at-home mom, which stay-at-home mom is a lot of labor. It's a lot of work. If you know any actual stay-at-home moms, you take care of your kids, you send them to school, you have to make sure the house is clean. It's labor. It's just unpaid labor. And this glamorization of people thinking like, yeah, I'm going to be kept. At what cost? At what cost? For someone to financially abuse you? And it's very disheartening, particularly because all of the ire, those are generalized statements that he made, but they are actual ire and particular statements that he made about Meg Thee Stallion and how people have turned her actual harm into a punchline. So how ironic that Her Loss, which is the name of the album, released last Friday, has drawn attention largely for Drake disrespecting a woman. On the new song, Circo Loco, he raps this. Can we say B? Maybe. This be lie about getting shots, but she a stallion. The line was wildly interpreted as dissing Meg Thee Stallion, the 27-year-old Houston MC who accused another rapper, Tory Lanez, for shooting her feet in 2020. In the court of public opinion and in an ongoing criminal trial, Lanez has pled innocent. And the Circo Loco line would seem would seem to signal Drake's agreement that Meg is being dishonest. Shortly after the album dropped, she tweeted her anger, writing, "Stop using my shooting for clout." And then let me remove me so I can see it. Hip hop now has a new beef, and it hints at the market value of misogyny. There has always been a large price, a large segment, a large way to gain clout, to gain notoriety, to gain money by embarrassing Black women, by shaming Black women, by poking at Black women's harm. It's nothing new. And Drake is just the newest person to be like, oh, I don't give a damn. What I find very interesting, the Tory Lanez situation and that trial, we don't usually cover crim. Well, might cover it on the Patreon, to be honest. I personally do not feel the need to subject myself to angry trolls on the internet, so we won't do it on here. However, I don't recall so many people being so enamored with Tory Lanez before all this happened. After the incident occurred and after Meg accused him, all of a sudden, these men came out of the woodwork. He's great. He's this, he's that. I was like, since when are y'all friends? It was very strange. It was very much like attracting like. That's how it seemed to me, in my opinion. And it is very much, if you look at how Meg has constantly stated how she has tried at first, she didn't want to state that he had committed harm against her, that she felt that she had to be protective, that we've been ingrained to do all of these things. And yet it's a one-way street. It's a one-way street because you have Drake making jokes about it, everyone online making jokes about it, that it's funny. It's not funny. It's not funny for someone to shoot you. I don't see how that's funny. I don't see how in any world that is funny. So Aubrey has just, I feel like Aubrey just grasping for straws at the expense of Black women, which he doesn't care. He doesn't care. This shows, this giant PR stunt is what the interesting thing I would say about people who have acquired lots of money. There's no one to really tell them no. So it's, hey, I just want to rile people up. How much is it going to cost? Okay, cool. Cover it. That's a very dangerous game to play. And that's what you see now with Elon Musk on Twitter, where he's acquired Twitter. Now, if you impersonate him on Twitter, unless you state certain things, he's just banning your account. He's just blocking you. But he loves free speech. People with money, generally speaking, sometimes have a lot of yes men, yes people in their life that just, yeah, just do it. Just do it. You know, you pay my rent, right? Okay, cool. Just do it. Just do it. And this is what we're seeing. And this is what we're seeing, sadly. So, no, I haven't listened to the album. I'm not really going to listen to it. This case specifically is a waste of taxpayer time, as usual. This is quite literally a slam dunk case. He has no case. Him or 21 Savage or the PR company, they have no defense for any of this. The writing is quite literally on the New York walls since they've left it up. It's everywhere. There's no defense to stealing someone's trademark, making a whole ass fake magazine. This is going to end probably in a settlement. There's no reason to drag it on. They're probably only letting it drag on because it is a publicity stunt. So maybe they'll let it drag on to the end of the month, if that. And then they're just going to pay the money. It's really a waste of time. It is an honest waste of time. But I suppose it gets the job done of, Lord. Wide. It gets the job done of now we're all talking about what is maybe a lackluster album. I have no idea. I haven't listened to it. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, with those types of lyrics, I have no want to listen to it. Why? For what? So yes, child. Yes, let us go through, since we're at the wine time, let us go through the comments now. I think Megan said something about how if she had died, it would be less a joke. Exactly. Which is so crazy. Why does someone have to, the ultimate harm have to happen to them for people to take it seriously? Being shot at is a serious thing. Like, since when is this funny? It's a very painful experience. And anyone defending it is a questionable person, child. Is a questionable person. Also to note, Tory Lanez's biggest song is a song that is a remake of a classic Jamaican song. So, I mean, again, talented weird. I would like to know. Defending mediocrity because you are closetly a misogynist just makes you misogynist that likes mediocrity. Okay. All right. Blue Quartz. Drake paid himself the marketing budget because trolling to promote is funny. I guess that's what they're on now. They're on this, y'all. Oh, not Farrakhan. Oh God. Listen, the sovereign citizen video is probably how far we're gonna go into the Hotep land. That's a wild place. That is a wild place. Yes, never forget, Lakeisha, never forget what Anna called Naomi Campbell African American, and Naomi looked at her and just stared blankly in Black British, like, what? Anna is such a foolish person as well. Such a foolish person. Okay, let's go like to the beginning, to the beginning. All right, if you just tuned in, all you're gonna see is forehead and comments, so tune to the beginning. Okay. Tiana go hold me to that time, child. Yeah, she's also never smiling, so it's interesting. Okay. I think you're seeing someone like who is approaching a certain age just spiraling and just doing nonsense. 'Cause it doesn't make any actual sense. Like, okay, you sell 20,000, 30,000 more records, people are talking about you for a week. Like, that's the thing with virality. Virality is very short-lived. It's like a short spike of dopamine. Like, okay, by what today's Thursday, by Monday, we'll all have moved on from this. But his lawsuit's still gonna be there. All right. Thank you, boo. Okay. I would say Drake and his team knew better than to do this. I would say at this point, they've done it on purpose. It's also in terms of demographics, like what who is the age group and the age range that you're trying to capture. I would say maybe to Gen Z demographics or to teenagers, this is funny. Because I don't find it particularly that harmful. I just find it to be stupid. Exactly. Yes, that's correct. KCB TMZ said that a judge issued a restraining order for them to remove all mock-up covers. I just read on the app. When I looked at it, they were deliberating, but they're likely going to issue a TRO, so temporary restraining order. However, the likelihood, which I think is going to be really interesting, of whether or not the PR team is actually going to go to all those places in New York where they just plastered it on the wall and take it down is going to be. I feel like they're not going to. I feel like they're not going to take all of them down. I should go walk by one and see next week. Side note, fraudulent Bishop Whitehead, allegedly. The bishop is very litigation happy. He's suing he said that he's going to sue this other YouTuber to sue Paramount for 40 million, and I would love to see your analysis if it goes to court. That man is funny. He's trying to hold on to his 15 minutes. That man is very funny. Craig E. These posters were all over LA. I literally thought it was a real cover. Exactly, which proves Condé Nast's point that it is causing confusion. It looks real. The cover itself looks real. The insides, Anna without her glasses off taking photos, highly unlikely. Anna taking photos, smiling, never happening. All right. Cali Coco. What was inside the magazine though? His track list and lyrics. It was just like the regular PR, I guess. Like, hey, this is what we have. It's so silly. No, this is a good question. Moses, doesn't this count as parody? No. So To have a parody, you have to show that something's substantially different and that you're joking. That's the whole thing of parody. So that it's different and you're critiquing something, you're making light of it, etc. This is literally them trying to pass this off as a Vogue magazine. Of them, when they posted it, they, again, it's the hubris of it all, added Vogue and added Anna Wintour and was like, thank you so much, Anna, for this opportunity. So no. They have no defense. They're gonna pay up end of month. Listen. No girl. Well, Asada, assuming. No, I was gonna say no girl, but I both thing. Oh no, y'all are still here. Hey y'all. My internet said enough. It said we're had enough and we're done with it. The Wi-Fi in this side of Brooklyn is trifling. It's living its own life. Well, on that note, let's see. A couple more. I bet you it froze on the most unflattering face as well. It always does. It's always like this instead of like something cute. Okay, let's see. Let's see like the last couple comments and then I'll go ahead and let y'all go. Oop! Not the deportation. Listen, I detest INS, but I don't necessarily, disagree. All right. Said perfectly. Tory Lanez is so derivative and unoriginal and a misogynist. Exactly. Which I find it very strange as to his outpouring of sudden support after he is accused and caused harm to someone else. Like, what? Why? Oh. Tiana, Vogue is racist. It sucks that we have to get a lick back from Vogue, but here we are. Exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't feel that bad for Vogue because Vogue is racist and classist and egregious. And also, Aubrey is a huge misogynist and a culture hopper when he feels like it. Just borrows things. His fake Jamaican accent grates my nerves. It is so bad. It's just so bad. Oh, Madison. I'm just gonna put it on the screen, but I'm not gonna read that out loud because their fan base is very wild. It's giving grasping for straws. It's giving grasping for straws. Yes. Hey Keisha, welcome to the live. All right. Listen, the internet and I are not friends, which I tried to buy. Actually, I have a technical question. I tried to buy an Ethernet cord. Because okay, if I get an Ethernet cord, like back in college, it'll work better. However, my Ethernet port is a different size. I didn't know they came in multiple sizes. So if you know anything about Ethernet cords, let me know. Let me know. Leave me a comment because I don't ever know. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. Hey, Hugh. I hope y'all are enjoying the warm weather. I'll be down in JA in December for my cousin's wedding. So freaking excited. Oh, this is the best way to put it. Drake is a musical colonizer. Exactly that. Okay, then. Exactly. This is not rocket science, this is not rocket science what occurred between him and Meg. And the only reason why we have to say allegedly is because he is insisting on going to trial, which to me, when you know that you have harmed somebody, for example, like the Daryl Brooks case, Daryl Brooks knew so many people saw him run his vehicle into a parade. And cause the ultimate harm to people. To then take it to court to just re-traumatize your victim shows that you're an awful ass person. You know what you did? You know what you did. Oh. Y'all are funny. All right. Well, on that note, I appreciate y'all. We are going to do a L'Oreal is being sued for their relaxers, and the allegation is that the relaxer products cause cancer as well as other issues within Black women. So we are going to cover that in an edited video. And I forgot who requested that on Instagram today. So thank you for that. I think that will be a very good video because most of us, if not all of us, have had a relaxer at some point and may or may not have a chemical burn. I saw a chemical burn on my forehead. So we are going to cover that next week. What else do we have coming up? We're going to do affirmative action, that Supreme Court case tomorrow on Patreon. And we're going to see what's going on with student loans because now there is another lawsuit different from the lawsuit we covered last week about the student loan cancellation. There's another lawsuit now in the state of Texas that looks a bit worrisome that may get somewhere. So we're going to see. We're going to see if Joseph is going to keep his promise since he has decided to go about it this way. So is it a class action lawsuit? I haven't read through it yet. I would assume so. I would assume that the relaxer lawsuit is a class action lawsuit. I haven't read through the whole thing yet. So we are going to talk about that. Because there are a lot of things. First of all, it's a 70-page complaint, which is good because I know that they have lots of receipts, which is great. But also what I found interesting because I skimmed through it a little bit was talking about the cultural understanding of why so many Black women have gotten relaxers through the years. It's not just because, oh, yay, we just all want straight hair. It's because forced assimilation. So we are going to talk about all that. But yeah, listen, my burn is still on my forehead. I showed it on Instagram earlier. I have makeup on so you can't see it. But a mess. Yep, exactly this. The relaxer models were all natural, false advertising. Exactly. Because my bang never looked like the girls. I wanted a bang so bad. And so when I had my little relaxed bang, it was giving struggle. It was giving struggle. It never looked like the cute girl on the box. And I was like, oh, that's because it's not relaxer in her head. That's why. All right. All right. On that note, we are going to listen. Yes. So we're going to cover that. And then if there's anything else I want to cover, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. If there's anything else I want to cover, let me know either like in the comments or on Instagram. And yeah, I will catch y'all. Yeah, next week. I'll catch y'all next week. We've done it 2 weeks in a row. So before I say we're always going to have a video on Tuesday, it's looking like on Tuesdays is the upload day for edited videos. We'll see. We'll see before I make that promise. But I appreciate y'all and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Have a good night.